Welcome back to my continued coverage of the G1 Climax 31 tournament. If this is your first trip to my channel, allow me to introduce myself. I am the natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcast, independent professional wrestler, and everybody's favorite narcissist. Night 9 of the G1 was a night of surprises for the A block. It's beginning to get real interesting on the A block side of the tournament. Every point is critical. I have 6 matches to cover, so without further ado, let's get to it. All right, opening match, we have Young Lion Kosei Fujita being defeated by Kanemaru. Fujita attacks with forearm, shoulder tackles, stomps. He's aggressive but reckless, and it costs him. Kanemaru starts to go to work, beating him down, putting him in a painful-looking camel clutch. He starts toying with him a bit, giving him some kicks to the face, taunts him to fight back before beating him down some more. At the 5-minute mark, Fujita is actually on top. I see they added a body slam to his arsenal. He even locks in the Boston Crab for a very short period. But Kanemaru is done playing games with him, suplexes him twice to soften up that back, puts on the Boston Crab, keeping him in the middle of the ring, and Fujita taps out. Alright, getting into tournament action. In the first match, we have Toru Yano defeating Bushi. Bushi is standing in for Naito, who had to withdraw due to injury. So, referee checks Yano because he has that damn bag with him again. He tries to use it, but Bushi pulls out his own bag, a Louis Vuitton bag. And they each put the bag on each other's head. And these guys are wandering around the ring with bags on their heads. No one bothering them to take them off. I wonder what Jim Cornette had to say about this shit. But it's all in good fun. The ref says, fuck this. Well, he didn't actually say that, but he grabs both of the bags and snatches them off their head, tell them to start fighting. It's a basic start until they go on the outside where Yano is tied to the barricade with a towel, but he's able to beat the count. You know, these matches, it has to look like Bushi can win, so of course he gets some shine. But we all know who's winning this match. Back on the outside again, Yano ties Bushi's mask to the barricade. At the count of 17, as it looks like Bushi is just stuck, otherwise he's going to have to unmask himself, he pulls out some scissors from his boots, cuts the string, and beats the count. Toru Yano tries to grab the bag again, but Bushi blocks it, and they both put the bag over the ref's head, who misses Bushi rolling up Toru Yano. And when he snatches the bag off of the ref's head, Yano low blows him. Kevin Kelly's monitor gets covered up. We get a roll up for the win. Yano picking up the 2 points. Although, you know, he was bound to get them anyway. 2 points added to the board. In the next match, KENTA defeats the Great-O-Kahn. Oh, Lord. I'm watching the Great-O-Kahn's entrance. And as great as it is, as theatric as it is, I got to thinking, if a wrestler came out like Great-O-Kahn in WWE with that music, dressed that way, moving the way he moves, that shit would look racist as fuck. But anyway, KENTA gets on the mic and says some shit, and Great-O-Kahn says some shit back, which is all in Japanese, so I have no idea what they're saying to each other. And they start squaring off like a couple of MMA fighters. KENTA rolls out the ring, stalling, still talking shit from across the ring to Great-O-Kahn. And whatever is being said, the crowd is just laughing and eating it up. Get a translation later on in the match where basically KENTA was saying the loser must obey the other and bow to the other competitor. The dogeza, which is a real, I guess, humiliating bow. So we'll see what happens when KENTA wins. KENTA hides under the ring and then jumps the Great-O-Kahn from behind. And when they get back to the ring, we get some more grappling action between the two. The Great-O-Kahn starting to work over the leg. They go back and forth, trying to outdo each other and embarrass the other guy. Great-O-Kahn puts on like a sleeper-like hold, like from the side. KENTA grabs hold of his braid to get loose. Great-O-Kahn is looking real confident when he's on top, to the point where I think he's wasting some precious time. KENTA is less cocky, but also takes his time when he's in control. This is usually when the other is able to turn things around because they're just wasting too much time giving the guy a rest. At the 15-minute mark, they're exchanging forearms. then to open palm strikes, and Kenta's pimp hand is strong because he just takes down Great-O-Kahn with some smacks. Great-O-Kahn attempted the eliminator, but Kenta caught him with a knee, but Great-O-Kahn puts him in the sheep killer. We get a ref bump because he gets squashed in the corner by Great-O-Kahn when Kenta charged them both. Kenta grabs a chair, uses it twice, nailing O-Kahn in the back while the ref is down. He places the chair on top of Great-O-Kahn, puts on his hat, climbs to the top rope, and does a double stomp onto the chair. The ref's still down. Kenta grabs a bat from underneath the ring. Looks like he's trying to get his Negan on. Great-O-Kahn grabs the bat from him, but the ref comes to. Kenta falls to the ground. O-Kahn is caught with the bat in his hand. The ref is giving O-Kahn a bunch of shit, saying like, what are you doing? While he's distracted, arguing with the ref, Kenta rolls him up for the 3 count and the additional 2 points. So Kenta is able to steal the victory. Kenta gets on the mic, says something, grabs a chair, sits in the middle of the ring, demanding that the Great-O-Kahn bow to him. So O-Kahn, he fakes like he's actually going to do it, but instead he nails Kenta with an eliminator and walks away. So, so much for that. In the next match, we have Tanga Loa defeating Yujiro Takahashi. This is a first one-on-one match between these two. All 4 of them join in for the 2 Sweet. Like before, Jado kept his word about not involving himself during this match. Early on, we get a 2 Sweet psych out. Tanga Loa tries to get Yujiro to 2 Sweet him again after throwing him back, saying he's too strong for him. But Yujiro kicks him in the gut. and then when Tanga Loa starts to beat up on him again, Yujiro puts up the 2 Sweet like, hey, too sweet, too sweet. This time Tanga Loa kicks him in the gut. And then afterwards he's telling Yujiro, look, no more funny shit. Let's have a straight up match. I like how Tanga Loa is acting concerned as he's beating up Yujiro on the outside. Say, are you okay? Are you okay? But then still beating the shit out of him. Finally, someone is being dominant with Yujiro, as it should be. Tanga Loa is telling Yujiro to quit so he can just go ahead and get his 2 points. And he's saying it in a friendly manner. So Yujiro, you know, he's got to get some offense in. He even busts out a suicide dive on Tanga Loa. Well, before you start getting too excited, it was the slowest suicide dive in the history of pro wrestling. I admit, up to this point, it's been a pretty clean match, as we're 10 minutes in. They begin trading forearms. Yujiro starts getting the better of Tanga, but not for long. He tries going for the big juice, but it's reversed into an I-Chen, which basically looks like you pick up the guy for a body slam, and he falls down like a pile driver. Tanga Loa gets the pin and the 2 additional points. Afterwards, he hugs Yujiro and raises his hand after the match. So no hard feelings. Again, good clean competition between members of the Bullet Club. In the next match, Tomohiro Ishii defeats Zack Sabre Jr. And right away, Kevin Kelly is possibly spoiling some more shit. He says before the match starts, well, you know, whoever wins, usually the first person to challenge for the briefcase is the person who beat them first. So if Ishii pins Zack and Zack wins the G1, Ishii will probably challenge for the briefcase. Kevin Kelly, shut the fuck up. Because there's a good chance that just might happen. And you just done spoiled it again. But walking out at 4-0 thus far, all submission victories, here comes Zack Sabre Jr. looking super confident going into this match. It is a really nice open with Zack almost getting the European clutch for a quick pin. He goes strike for strike with Ishii, which is not a wise move, but this is how he usually catches opponents off guard. He did catch him on the rope and goes after the arm. Now he has his target. Zack Sabre Jr. baits him to chop him some more, knowing that he's hurting his arm while doing it. 5 minutes in and Ishii is not looking too good. Ishii's only hope is to use his brute strength to combat Zack's attacks. He goes for the superplex, but Zack traps the arms on the top rope and sunset power bombs him onto the mat. In a beautiful move by Zack Sabre Jr., he avoids a sliding lariat and rolls into an arm submission. This, folks, is why he's one of the best technical guys out here. Zack starts poking the bear, like literally kicking Ishii in the head, kicking him in the back, kicking him in the arm, until Ishii lays him out again, but Ishii is unable to capitalize. As we hit the 15-minute mark, Ishii is holding on to dear life. Zack with numerous submission attempts, with Ishii barely escaping. Finally, he's able to hoist Zack up in a vertical brainbuster and drills him home for the pin. This is a hell of a match between these two. Ishii picks up 2 more points. And in our main event, we have Kota Ibushi defeating champion Shingo Takagi. Their last one-on-one match was at last year's G1, where Shingo beat Ibushi during that tournament. They supposedly had a match earlier in the summer, but Ibushi was unable to compete. Shingo was being real careful in the beginning to avoid the kicks at the start. They start trading strikes after some chain wrestling, turning things up a notch early on in the match. Shingo, with the clear strength advantage, gains control of the match after laying Ibushi out with a clothesline from behind. Shingo nails a bunch of elbows, strikes to the neck in Naito fashion, weakening the neck of Ibushi. Ibushi starts no-selling the strikes, and they exchange open hand slaps to the face, with Ibushi getting the better of Shingo. Ibushi hits a nice Asai moonsault on the outside, but it kind of looks like his elbow caught Shingo right in the face. Ibushi with the advantage for a bit, but again, the strength of Shingo allows him to regain control. As we cross the 15-minute mark, both are no-selling attacks going back and forth until Shingo ends it with a hard sliding European uppercut to the back. Those lariats by Shingo, man, they look super stiff. Kota kicks out of a Made in Japan. He's avoiding being finished off and sets him up for the win. He charges with a Bombaye, hits a power bomb, tries for the Kamigoye, but it's blocked, and gets one hell of a knee from Shingo before a brutal pumping bomber for only a 2 count. Shingo charges right into a front kick and then takes a Kamigoye for the 2 count. Sensing it's going to take a lot to put Shingo down for good, Ibushi delivers a jumping knee, then a Kamigoye to the back, and then one to the front just for good measure, and finally picks up the victory and the 2 points. What a hell of a match between these two guys. That definitely didn't disappoint. Man, are you guys loving this tournament? I'm loving this tournament. I mean, what did I say? A night of surprises. The points are not as spread out as the B block, but the tide could shift in favor of any of these competitors, except maybe Yujiro, and they could still win it all. So here are the points at the end of the night. At the top with 8 points, you still have Zack Sabre Jr. We have a 5-way tie at 6 points. Shingo Takagi, Great-O-Kahn, Toru Yano, Kenta, and Kota Ibushi. And a 3-way tie with 4 points, Yujiro Takahashi, Tanga Loa, and Tomohiro Ishii. But it's about that time. Let's go ahead and take it home. If you are enjoying my coverage of the G1 Climax 31 tournament, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Ring the notification bell so that you are notified every time new episodes are uploaded. Remember, the goal is 100 subs by the end of October. So I'm going to need your help to accomplish that goal. Be sure to slap that subscribe button on your way out. And be sure to follow me on all social media. Links will be in the description, sending you to my Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. And don't forget to give the Saturday Night SlamCasters some love. Links are in the description. That'll take you to the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcasting host site, the Saturday Night SlamCasters YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Facebook group. Well, it's been great, you guys. Until next time, come get slammed.